Noswaith sut ac I heno? Mae wedi bod yn wythnos gryffwys yn San Steffan. Dwi'n falch iawn bod ni wedi cael yr arian i'r lôn o Gerwyn I Amlwch. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're well. I've had a very busy week here in Westminster. We've had some good news from the budget, but first I would like to talk about coronavirus. Over the past couple of weeks, I've received a number of calls and emails asking about the COVID booster jabs. Now, booster vaccinations are being offered to people when at least 6 months has passed since the date of their second dose jab. So please remember, 6 months is the minimum interval between your second dose and getting your booster. And our local health board is currently administering boosters to frontline health and social care staff and those over the age of 80. They've begun sending appointment letters to those aged over 70. So providing 6 months has passed since a second dose jab, they're inviting people eligible for their booster in the same priority order as the first phase. And they're on track to have offered the jab to 90% of those eligible by mid-December. So please wait for an appointment invitation should come in the post. Please do not contact your GP surgery or the COVID-19 vaccination contact centre, as they will not be able to book you an appointment any sooner. The NHS locally is working hard to get everybody's boosters done as quickly as possible, and they are administering around 3,000 vaccinations every single day. So they're on track. I'd encourage you to have your booster jab, and if you're eligible, your flu jab too this year. And in the recent weeks, I'm sure you've all seen, there's been an increase in the COVID infections right across the UK, including Anglesey. But thanks to our fantastic vaccination programme, our most vulnerable in our communities have been protected. And the percentage of cases that require hospitalisation is thankfully still very, very low. Last week, there were 85 cases in our region's hospitals compared to around sort of 250 to 330 at the peak of last winter. So please remember about social distancing and all the other measures that are still in place in Wales and the rest of the UK, and follow these guidelines and please stay safe. This week, as part of the Chancellor's budget, I heard the excellent news that my Anglesey Restoring Your Railways bid group had been successful in its bid for up to £50,000. Now, I've discussed this at previous broadcasts. This money will be used to fund a feasibility study on the disused Gerwyn to Amlwch line, and the Welsh Government has already approved match funding so we can fully investigate the viable options and alternative uses. And I hope this will be the first step in bringing this fantastic community asset, which has lain disused for far too long, back into life. And this week's budget also marked an important step in preparing and supporting the UK in a post-Brexit and post-pandemic world by focusing on how the government will put meat on the bones of its commitments to bring economic prosperity to areas like Anglesey that have seen disinvestment and loss of opportunity over recent years. The Chancellor focused on the importance of family, community and personal responsibility, saying that this is not because there is an alternative to the market or the state, it's because they are more important than the market or the state. Honest Morn is all about family and community, which is why we need to provide permanent, well-paid careers on the island, and only this will drive up our economic stability, give our children aspiration and keep our young people on the island. And only by keeping our communities healthy and self-sufficient will our precious Welsh language and culture continue to thrive. There are some huge headline numbers in the budget, including the Shared Prosperity Fund, Project Gigabit for broadband, and the Global Britain Investment Fund. And as the Member of Parliament for Energy Island, I also welcome the announcement of millions of pounds for offshore wind, almost £1.7 billion to enable a large-scale nuclear plant, millions towards advanced nuclear R&D, and a new future nuclear enabling fund to address barriers to entry. We've got a new bill having a second reading in Westminster next Wednesday, which I'm hoping to speak on, and this is the nuclear funding bill. So it's quite an exciting time in nuclear and nuclear finance. And with the National Nuclear Laboratory already based at MSpark in Gerwyn and Bechtel and Rolls-Royce and others really keen to set up at Wilfa, these announcements bring hope back that Anglesey might once again enjoy the economic benefits of hosting a nuclear power plant. I'm also keen to see the UK's first thermal hydraulic test facility established here in North Wales. At the moment, there's only one in Italy and one in the US, and it'd be fantastic to have the third in the world based here on Anglesey. On the island, local people are already starting to see jobs and opportunities appearing as a result of this government's investments. We've got over 200 new jobs at the HMRC Inland Border Facility in Holyhead. We've got expansion of the workforce at Orthios Eco Park, which is being supported by UK government investment. We've got the Holyhead Hydrogen Hub, which was given nearly £5 million in the March budget earlier this year. And of course, I continue to press for Anglesey to become a free port with all the advantages that a free port would bring. In addition, the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, announced that Wales would receive its largest block grant since devolution. There's support for Welsh farmers and fisheries, and a new Veterans Commissioner for Wales, which will also be welcomed by those at Arif Valley, I'm sure, and our amazing local SAFA volunteers. And these announcements really show the confidence of the UK government in its plans to build back better, and that confidence will unleash private capital. And I want to assure you that I will be fighting hard to make sure that Anglesey reaps the rewards of this community-focused budget. And before I go, I want to take this opportunity to remind you that I send out a free monthly e-newsletter. Many of your neighbours will already be receiving it, and I would encourage you to do likewise. You can register for your personal copy via my website or contact my office with your email address. Diolch I bawb sy wedi cofrestru I gael fy llythyr. And I would like to end by saying I'm here to help you. If you need my help, you can contact me in many ways. You can visit my office in Holyhead, where I've got a fantastic team there. You can give me a call, you can email me, you can visit my website, or you can come along to one of my many surgeries. It's been an absolute pleasure to report back to you, and I hope you'll all have a relaxing and enjoyable weekend. Pen wythnos da I chi.